Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What is this? Oh, hey, you are the one that's supposed to read that part. Okay. I apologize, I'll get out your way.
Thank you. Could you go see Napa? He's the one that does the contracts and everything. He'll catch you up on when you should be jumping in, when you need to be jumping out, what your goals are, etc.
Okay, because I am the cream of the crop, but the cream always rises to the top. So I will go speak to this Napa person, and I will find out what I need to do for future references.
Thank you. Anyway, back on point. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, organics of all ages. I am Double R, and in this video we are going to deal with the Death Star that is known as the roleplay argument from the dawn of time. Now, to deal with this argument, I've been blasting the hull, been blasting the shields, been blasting the TIE fighters, I've been running the freaking trench, I've been shooting the turrets. That's what all my other videos were pretty much doing, attacking all the other arguments. But now that I'm lined up, I'm going to, quote, use the Force, and I'm going to fire the 2 torpedoes into the exhaust port to attack the core of this barrage of problems. And the core is summarized through a roleplay moan / declaration. And that specific moan is something I brought up before, but we're going to bring it up again. And that is, just because I roleplay a villainous character does not mean I condone, definition of condone, right there, their actions. Oh, this is a big one. For you see, this one declaration actually summarizes the entire problem. This is the core of the argument that always pops up. This is why this tweet right here, this is why that popped up. That's why that question was asked. It's not to be evil, it's not to be wrong, it's not to be a douche. They have to ask that question. The reason why that roleplay moan declaration, whatever you want to call it this week, had come up was because it was a similar problem. Because apparently the character did something someone didn't like. And because the character did something someone didn't like, they blamed the writer. They felt the writer condoned the actions of the character. Because their logic states, you're the writer. Line item 6, you're the writer, you're responsible. Now I can go over the argument itself. You're the writer, you're responsible. Yeah, we might as well arrest George R.R. Martin. You know, Game of Thrones, tee-hee. But no, again, it's trying to get you to react emotionally to it. So I've looked at all these arguments, well, as many of them as I had. I've looked over some other people who had similar arguments. I've looked over some of my other videos where I discussed the topic several times, several videos. And that was the core of the argument. They feel the writer condones the actions of the character. Does this make them type 2? 98%? Yes. But does this always mean they're type 2? No. Because you see, I couldn't figure out how a person can go from type 3 to type 2. I couldn't figure it out. Even though I even stated that it's because of taboo insanity. Taboo insanity states, once a taboo is introduced, logic goes out the window, you're now responding solely on emotion. And I was partially right. I winged a TIE fighter with that one. For you see, what has happened here, once a taboo is introduced, I did not think further down the line. I didn't shoot for the cockpit, I hit a wing. Taboo insanity eradicates logic. Taboo, definition of a taboo. Ow, fucking. That. Now that we have the definition of taboo, now we can understand why when a villainous character does a taboo, the person felt that the writer, who's responsible for writing the character, is condoning the action of the character. That is their logic, that is their mindset. So long story short, they feel roleplay is a safe space. This goes flying in the face of people who say they use roleplay as type of psychological help. This flies in the face of people who use roleplay to get things off their chest for characters. If they're having a bad day, they roleplay an aggressive character so they can just vent. No, forget all those. Forget all those people, they don't exist. Their taboo exists. And that's what matters to them, because to them, roleplay is a safe space. This causes one major thing. They respond and they react via taboo insanity. Because of taboo insanity, it slips them into the safe space mentality of Sympathy's law, as you see here. Two major ways Sympathy's law come up, but long story short, if it happens in the real world and is a taboo, it should not happen in roleplay because roleplay is a safe space. In so many words, the response typically comes up from those who do the freedom of roleplay, who believe in the freedom of roleplay, who believe characters are characters, fiction is fiction, reality is reality. They separate it. They are a lot like me. They have the line of scrimmage. This is why the freedom of roleplay can say things like, if it's in character, we don't give a shit. But once it's out of character, now we give a shit. Versus Sympathy's law, who goes, that comes from Sympathy's law. That right there comes from Sympathy's law. Because of taboo insanity, Sympathy's law is activated. You get statements like that. Why? They feel that the actions of the character are condoned by the writer. Ergo, it doesn't matter if it's in character or not. You see how this all turns around. So, long story short, Sympathy's law says, hey, roleplay is a safe space. You should only write what is safe for others to write. Take a hint from Marvel. And freedom of roleplay says, yeah, that. And these are the two sides of this argument. Am I saying either side is 100% wrong or right? No. Because I understand that some people do get triggered off of things. I get that. But it is also your responsibility as a writer to go through your settings and mute certain words. If you know you will be triggered, you are to go to your own settings and mute them. But a lot of people don't do that. They want to control others. That's what freedom of roleplay is. Not controlling. You write what you want to write. So if you want to bitch and moan about that stupid shit, don't be surprised if you get blocked.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Okay, a simple wrong would have done just fine, but...
Now, again, I get it. But here's the whole issue that those on the side of Sympathy's law needs to understand. This is the side that needs to understand roleplay won't be a safe space until you go through your own settings to get it. That's it. You are responsible for your safety. You want a safe space? You got to set up your own safe space. By sitting there and going after other people, you're just an authoritarian. And it shows that you're actually quite lazy not to go through your own fucking settings.
Big mad, he's mad, she's mad, big sad, ha don't care, stay mad.
If you know for a fact that it is triggering to a point that it actually causes you problems, you need to go mute those words or not be on roleplay in any way, shape, or form. And especially if you're on Twitter, that's pretty easy to do. So with that said, now that everyone knows the core argument and both sides of it, be understanding of the fact that if you are influenced by taboos, that this is where you are coming from, accept this and understand why this is a problem for you. All right? Are we all good? We all clear? All right. For those of you who are confused on what's going on what side I actually side with, I side with the freedom of roleplay. I have a line of scrimmage, as I said before. The line of scrimmage tells me one thing. If it's in character, you can do whatever the fuck you want in character. I don't care. But if you espouse your taboo bullshit, then you have passed my line of scrimmage. This is why I have videos on BBC. This is why I have videos on people who can't keep shit separated. This is why I go after type 2 as hard as I do.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Because contrary to popular belief, not all type 2 are as benevolent as they think they are. Because they're not. Some people do that so they can get away with it. There are some people who use their character to be hateful. And I get that. But again, it is the line of scrimmage. If they say that shit in character, and it's only in character, fine. That's how the character is. That's how the character rolls. Doesn't mean I condone their actions. It doesn't mean I have to roleplay with them. But if that's the character, that's the character. Now, if they say it out of character, that's the other kettle of fish. And in fact, if y'all want to go after those folks, I ain't going to stop you. Like I said before, I said it again. That's my line of scrimmage. As soon as you understand that, the better. I'm Double R. I'm out. Y'all have fun. I gotta go deal with Nappa and Macho over there before something bad happens.
Macho Man, this is running wild. Ooh, yeah. I don't know what this madness is, but it sounds fun.